Okay, so have you ever found yourself looking at something huge, I mean, really monumental, and just feeling completely unqualified?
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, there's this weird pull, right? Like this feeling that says, wow, this is way beyond me, but I kind of have to do it.
That's a really interesting tension, isn't it? That gap between what we think we can handle and, well, something bigger calling us forward. Like you're being asked to stretch in a way you just don't feel ready for.
Exactly. And that tension, that specific feeling is right at the heart of our deep dive today. We're going way back into ancient scripture to look at a really foundational moment, the
Mm.
call of Moses. We're digging into Exodus chapter 3, specifically verses 1 through 12.
Right. And for this discussion, we're drawing from day 2, God delivers his people, the call of Moses. It's an excerpt published by Fasioli Publishing. It gives a great perspective on this story.
Yeah, it does. And our goal here, our mission, if you like, is to unpack how this passage shows God working through, well, let's be honest, ordinary, flawed people.
People like us.
Totally, to achieve these, extraordinary purposes. And more importantly, what does that mean for you listening right now in your own life? So let's jump in.
Okay, so picture this. Moses, he's living this really quiet life, almost surprisingly humble given his background in Egypt.
Right, he grew up in Pharaoh's palace, didn't he?
He did. But now, he's out in the middle of nowhere, basically, the wilderness of Midian. He's just tending sheep for his father-in-law, Jethro. It's a routine, quiet, maybe even a bit mundane.
Far from the spotlight. And then something happens that's anything but mundane. Verse 2 describes it. An angel appears in a flame of fire right out of a bush.
Yeah, and here's the kicker. Moses looks, and well, the bush is on fire, but it's not burning up. It's not being consumed.
Wow. A burning bush that doesn't burn. That would definitely get your attention.
You'd think so. It's that impossible detail, that how is this happening thing that pulls Moses closer. The source we're looking at says he was drawn to this strange sight. It's like a break in reality.
I can imagine. You'd have to check it out.
Exactly. So he goes closer, and then a voice calls out from the bush itself. Moses! Moses!
Chilling. And his response is so simple. Just, here I am. But imagine the feeling behind those words.
Oh, yeah. Then in verse 6, God identifies himself. And it's specific, not just God, but the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Linking himself to Moses' ancestors.
Precisely. And Moses. He's so overwhelmed he hides his face. He's afraid to look.
Understandable, really.
And that identification, it's so key. It's not just an introduction. It's God plugging Moses right back into this long story, this ancient covenant he made generations ago.
The promises to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
Exactly. It signals that this isn't random. It's part of a massive ongoing plan.
Yeah.
And knowing that, well, no wonder Moses felt that awe and fear.
Yeah, okay. And what God says next sort of shifts everything, doesn't it? He says he knows what's happening in Egypt. I have surely seen the affliction of my people and have heard their cry. I know their sufferings. That's verse 7. It's incredibly powerful. It shows God isn't distant. He's right there, aware of the pain, the suffering. There's real compassion there.
He hears them. He knows.
Right. It's not just sympathy. He declares his intention. He's going to deliver them, take them out of Egypt and into a good land, a land flowing with milk and honey.
Okay, so he sees a problem, he feels for them, and he has a plan. And then comes the big moment for Moses.
The direct call. Verse 10, come, I will send you to Pharaoh that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
Wow. Just like that. I will send you to Pharaoh, the most powerful ruler on earth at the time, to demand he let go of his entire workforce, basically.
It's a staggering command. Think about that weight landing on you.
No kidding. And Moses' reaction is, well, it's probably exactly how most of us would react.
Totally relatable. Verse 11, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? Instant self-doubt.
Who am I? He questions everything himself, his ability, maybe even God's judgment in picking him, Yeah. It makes you think, what is it about those huge callings that just triggers that immediate, I can't do this response in us, even when it feels like it's coming from, well, God himself?
That who am I? It just echoes, doesn't it? So human. But God's answer, that's the game changer. Verse 12, I will be with you. Simple. Powerful.
And notice, God doesn't say, oh, Moses, you're actually really qualified because of X, Y, Z. He doesn't list Moses' strengths.
No, he doesn't address the who am I directly in terms of Moses' abilities at all.
Right. He shifts the focus entirely. It's not about Moses. It's about God's presence. I will be with you. That's the qualification. The success isn't on Moses' shoulders. It's guaranteed by God's power and his faithfulness.
Okay, so let's pause the scene there for a sec. The burning bush, Moses' doubt, God's promise. What does this ancient story mean for, for you listening today?
Well, one big takeaway is seeing this pattern. God often calls us when we feel the least qualified. Like Moses here, full of insecurity, doubts, probably had a whole list of excuses ready,
Oh, I'm sure.
and yet he's the one God chooses.
Yeah, the source material puts it really well. The mission was never about Moses' abilities. It was about God's plan and power.
That's such a crucial shift in thinking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It pulls us away from relying just on ourselves and points us towards, well, divine help. That alone changes how you look at challenges.
It really does. And think about it. How often do we hesitate? When we feel God might be nudging us towards something new, something maybe uncomfortable.
All the time. We feel unprepared, unworthy, just not enough. It's a natural human thing when facing something divine or just plain big.
Totally. But God's answer to Moses, I will be with you, that promise isn't just for Moses back then, it's for us too, right?
Exactly. His presence is what actually equips us. It's not about having all the skills lined up beforehand. It's about his power working through us, even in our weakness.
So the lesson seems pretty clear. It's faith over excuses. Faith leads to actually doing the thing, to obedience.
And I love that line from the source. God does not call the equipped. He equips the called.
Ooh, that's good. Say that again.
God does not call the equipped. He equips the called. It just flips everything, doesn't it? Our usual way of thinking about readiness.
It really does. It takes the pressure off us to be perfect and puts the focus on his ability to provide.
And it's not just a vague promise. Think about Moses. God didn't just say, I'll be with you and leave it there. He gave him practical help. Signs like the stack turning into a snake, words to say, courage.
Right, the actual tools he needed.
Yeah, and the principle holds. God will provide what you need for what he's calling you to do. It's his mission, so it's his provision, tailored for you.
Okay, so wrapping up the main points here. This whole encounter with Moses shows the incredible power of God's call, especially hitting us when we feel totally incapable. And the absolute anchor is his promise, I will be with you. That's what empowers ordinary people like Moses, like us, to do extraordinary things.
Yeah. And remember how it all started. Moses was willing to turn aside to just check out that weird burning bush, that initial step of curiosity of approach.
Good point. He had to draw near first.
Exactly. So maybe the question for you listening now is building on that. Are you willing to draw near to God? To lean in and listen for his voice, maybe even step towards whatever calling he might have for your life?
That's a challenging thought because it means moving past the who am I?
It does. And like our source says so powerfully, it's not about who you are, but about who he is. Trust him to work through you.
Trust him. Okay, so here's a challenge for this week. Maybe take one small step of faith in an area where you sense God might be calling you.
Yeah, what could that look like? Maybe it's finally looking into that ministry opportunity or reaching out to that person who keeps coming to mind.
Or maybe it's simpler. Maybe it's just actively choosing to trust him in the middle of a situation that feels really difficult right now.
Whatever it is, remember you're not doing it alone. That core promise holds.
I will be with you. That's his promise.